Hi, and welcome back to my channel at Also Victoria, where I'm going to go over what sold the first week of May. I sold 10 items in three different shops two in my Etsy shop and one in my eBay shop. I didn't sell anything in my Poshmark shop for the first week of May. So of those 10 sales, my gross sales was $347.62. And I'm gonna put all that up here. So I'm a part-time seller. So let me get started here. So my gross sales was $347.62, and my net profit of that was $275.33. My fees were $59.97, and that covers shipping and shop fees. And then my cost of goods of what I paid for the items I sold was $22.32. So let me get started. At the end, I'll show you how many items in each shop and what the total of those were. So I didn't sell anything on May 1st. So on May 2nd in my eBay shop, I sold the Solomon Green cargo pants. I had picked these up in the Humane Society over Brookings on the coast. They were on the dollar rack, so they cost me a dollar, and I sold them for $30. And then there was a 32 cents shipping fee I got out of that. And I listed those in February of this year, so my profit on that was $24.64. And I had picked them up last December. And then on the 3rd, in my Etsy Also Victoria's shop, I sold this blue Angora jacket. I had it for quite a while, but I only listed it last year. I sold it for $74, and it cost me $5.99, and I picked it up at the Goodwill here at Ashland in 2010. So I had this jacket for 11 years. And then I finally listed it in October of last year. And I had it listed like, what is that? Sesame character. Some of the words I used was like Cookie Monster, cosplay, costume, that sort of thing. So anyway, this jacket went over to Germany, and she paid $23 in shipping. And then also in my on the 3rd in my Also Victoria shop, I sold this Leisure Life pastel striped lounge dress. I did not have this for very long. I sold it for $28. It cost me $5 at the Humane Society in Brookings. Their dresses were $5 unless they're on sale or whatever. And I listed this in April the 26th. And I did replace the zipper pull. I took one of my daughters when they were little kids. They had these little plastic charms of fruit. And so there just happened to be a grapefruit, grapes that were blue that matched the dress, so I replaced it with that. Anyway, it sold for $28, cost me $5, listed it April the 26th, and this dress went to England. And then also on the 3rd, in my Victoria eBay shop, I sold this Jessie and J blue tie-dye maxi skirt. I sold it for $16. It didn't cost me anything, and one of my daughters gave it to me. And I had listed this April 23rd. I did get, oh, somebody had bought it, and then they shortly there on eBay, and then wanted me to cancel the order, which is good before I purchased the label or anything, which was fine. And so anyway, I think I had it listed for $18 or something, and then I did an offer to Watcher for 16. Because when I first list something, I may go 10% off, depending on what it is. Sometimes I'll go 20, but if it's something that's really cool, I might go just 10. And then on the 4th, on my Etsy Also Victoria, I sold this vintage Bob Mackie. I've sold several Bob Mackie shirts. He was my favorite designer in the 70s because he designed all of Cher's dresses for her variety show she had on TV. And anyway, so the silk blouse for $54, and it cost me 50 cents. I picked it up at a yard sale in 2010, so I've had it 11 years, and I just listed it last December. So I didn't have it listed as long as I've had it in my inventory. Ah, I need to get through all that inventory. Can't imagine what I have in there. Some really cool stuff though. And then on the 4th in my eBay shop, I sold this Old Navy border dress for $19.99. It was probably full price what I had it for. I paid $3.50 for it at the Goodwill here in Ashland, and I bought it in May, a year, 2 years ago in 2013, and then I listed it in April of this year. I know I had was fixing something on the spaghetti strap, and I started fixing it. I may have even had it photographed way back in 2019. And then I set it aside and I got busy doing other things. And then I finally pulled it out because I did have it photographed and I fixed the strap and then I listed it. So sometimes it takes me a long time to list things. Whatever. And so then over on the 4th, also in my Oso Victoria, in my Etsy shop, I sold this 50s blue tap shorts. So this was the third pair of tap shorts I sold. The other one was a maternity short, so that doesn't really count. So anyway, I sold these for $18. They're weird how the pockets and the buttons and all that went on there. So I picked them up for $1.52 at the estate sale from an estate sale in Talent in 2019, and I listed them April 13th of this year. So it didn't take very long for these what I call tap shorts, pinup girl shorts to sell. Um, yeah, they're cotton. They're nice. And then on the 5th, in my Etsy Cameron D shop where I sell collectibles, I sold this decor raccoon plush from the 80s. I sold it for $20. So thank you, YouTubers, for showing me all the great plushes. You would never even think about picking up plush, but evidently people love plush. They loved them then and they love them now. So anyway, I'm learning more about plush. Anyway, I sold this for $20. I think this is the second plush thing I have sold since I started picking up plush. Cost me $1.50. I picked it up here in town in at what they call the Artist Emporium, where they have all the little booths, the little people rent booths and put their little collectibles and whatever in there. So I picked this up on February of this year and listed it in March of this year, and so it sold a month later. And then on my Etsy Osa Victoria shop on the 6th, I sold the 60s Paul B. Stone hippie hat. And I had to look up the designer, and he was a really popular clothing designer, I think from San Francisco in the 60s. And I think he may even had a skirt or something out of this type of fabric that he made. And so I sold this for $38. It cost me 32 cents. I don't know why it only cost me 32 cents in the Goodwill here in Ashland. I had picked this up in 2013, but I just listed it in March. So this is something that was in my studio, and I did my studio haul. I was pulling things out of my studio to sell, and this was one of them. I think when I first picked this up, I didn't know if it was vintage or not, and that's why I stuck it aside until I could find out. And then when I saw Googled his name and saw that it was indeed from the 60s, this guy that made this clothing in San Francisco, um, I thought that was cool. So anyway, it sold for $38. So that's why I priced it for $38. And she sent, oh, I wish I could show you the picture of her. I don't know how to get it. Maybe I'll be able to, maybe it's, yeah, maybe I could put the picture of her that she sent me of her wearing the hat. I mean, it's just perfect for her, and she's gorgeous. A gorgeous girl, and the hat looks perfect on her. And I'll put it up here with this hat. Um, anyway, so then the last thing I sold on the 6th, so I didn't sell anything on the 7th. So the last thing I sold on the 6th uh, in my vintage clothing on Etsy was this Candy Jones maxi prairie dress, and I've had this for a long time too, and I had it listed for a long time. I had a list for a long time. It was a great dress. I sold it for $48, Paid $2.99 for it at the Goodwill here in Ashland in 2012. So that's just showing you how much the Goodwill has gone up in prices. So now dresses are like $6 or something, sometimes $9. Back in 2012, you could pick up a dress for $2.99, even though it's vintage. So, or even $3.99. Yeah. So anyway, I had listed it in my Etsy shop in May of 2013. I know it was sitting there for that long of a time that I was actually thinking about listing it over on eBay, but I just never got around to it because I have so much other stuff, new stuff to list. So anyway, yeah, sold for $48. That was a pretty good price. Went to California. So, of these 10 items, I sold, and I'll put that up here. Six of these items I sold on Etsy in my also Victoria vintage shop for a total of $256. And then I sold one item in my Cameron D collectible shop on Etsy for $20. And I sold three items in my eBay shop for a total of $66.62. So Etsy does pretty good. But of course, like I said, I said before, I've been there on there for 10 years and pretty consistent or non-consistent, but I've listed there more than anywhere and then doing this new to Poshmark and redoing eBay again in the last 2 years. So consistent listing is what makes your sales, pretty much. And of course what you're listing definitely makes a difference too. So anyway, thanks for watching